Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video, we are looking at IonQ. It is time for another update. And in the case of this stock, we start to see some hints that the white interpretation is becoming a bit more likely. So previously, we have been tracking two paths where both of them would actually lead to significantly higher prices. In both of them, I am actually focusing on the idea of an impulse, and within both of them, I am looking for the price to extend to new all-time highs. But in one of them, I would be a bit further along within the structure. Within one of them, I would already have in place a double 1-2-1-2 setup where the wave 3 would be very close to materializing, having already fulfilled the minimum expectations of the internal wave 2. And technically, this scenario is actually still valid. Nothing has really changed. The white area of support has not yet been reached. The correction within this structure is not quite satisfactory for what I would typically expect of such a wave 2. So yes, primarily, at least at this point in time, with the low we currently have in place, the blue interpretation would remain the preferred option. But then I actually go into the smaller time frame where, if we take a closer look at it, we start to notice that this structure doesn't seem particularly indicative of a bottom being in place. I would have to prefer, at the very least, one wave 4 correction here and a wave 5 to have a more clearly complete A, B, C pattern. Well, that doesn't automatically take us to the white support zone, because technically it would be possible for me, especially if I go into an even smaller time frame, to consider that this would have been the wave 1 down, the wave 2 up, the wave 3 down, which could have a bottom in, and with the wave 4 and the wave 5. The proportions do not really even suggest it to be likely to reach the first level of support in the white scenario at $49.50. Then it could, but it's not necessary. So at first glance, this would be rather suggesting that while we can expect and favor even lower prices, we would typically expect to actually still bottom within the region of the blue wave 2 instead. But one key issue stands in this interpretation, and again, it's not that it is impossible, but the proportions wouldn't necessarily be too good of a match for this outcome. We would reach the 61.8% extension of the wave A within such a structure. Yeah, not even the 78.6% extension, while the 100% extension of the wave A is the ideal target. And not only that, but it actually is in line with this significant structural support we have in this area, actually sitting perfectly at those levels. So it's not that the 61.8% extension could not mark the bottom for the move down, for the wave C here. But it's not one of the very common levels to find a bottom in. It might be more common in the case where the wave A would have built here. We would have had an extremely small wave B, and then the wave C would have been a rather short one. Then maybe in that context it would have been a bit more common, but that is actually more typical of smaller timeframes. Now, regardless of my expectations in terms of the extensions and whatnot, I actually have to still track the same area of resistance as I would have for this structure down anyway. I still have to consider that this would have been a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up here, a wave 3 down, wave 4 up, and a wave 5 to complete an internal correction here. And one thing to be made clear, it is still possible for this wave 3 to be extending even further. I do see it possible, especially for the wave 5 of the wave 3, to be getting by itself to the 78.6% retracement, and only then to get the large wave 4 and the wave 5 to complete the correction. But I would track still the same main area of resistance for such a correction in a wave 4, as it will provide me the levels that I would consider most important for an indication that a more substantial bottom would be in. Because if it breaks the 50% retracement at $57.80, that would be my first signal that this structure, this move down, would rather be complete. It's not a guarantee of a bottom, but at least I would consider that this wave down would be done and that would enable me to look for the next steps forward. Now, what can we really expect of this structure if it really cannot bottom within the first 5-way move down? Well, the main implication could be that this would have been the wave 1 of a larger wave C. It would imply significantly lower prices, however, where this would have to build then something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yes, this could take us to quite deep levels of support, but I wouldn't go as far as to worry or even wait for this outcome. We cannot know at this point how exactly this will play out, and I wouldn't need to plan for such a disaster right now. So at this point, I am strictly focused on these levels of resistance. I would like to see a larger correction than what is currently in place within this move up. So unless it builds something like an A, B, C movement, I would probably prefer for direct continuation to lower prices within this as a wave 3 down, and only then to start the wave 4 correction. But for now, we will actually stop here. If you want even more from me, you can check out the Patreon, but these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the content and want to support it directly, check out the channel membership, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.